Hey everybody, and welcome back to Cooking with Glenn and Katie.
Today we'll be making some eggplant tomato stew. It's delicious. It uses a lot of vegetables out of the garden. The onions and peppers and tomatoes.
Eggplant.
I roasted the eggplant and tomatoes.
It's gonna be delicious, you guys. So
You're gonna love it.
Yep. All right, we're gonna head on to the kitchen.
What a great time of year. The garden is producing wonderfully. People are giving me some food too. In fact, my sister-in-law said I could have some eggplants. And so today we're going to be making some eggplant tomato stew using vegetables out of the garden. Let me show you some of the vegetables. This has been a tremendous tomato season. This is my favorite. These are Juliet tomatoes. They're really pretty. I will probably pick some this afternoon. I'll probably get a half gallon or a gallon of these little ones. Just pop it in our mouth, they're great. I love those. They're so prolific, so delicious. And then we have the eggplants from Donna. She provided those. And I grilled a couple, and I've already grilled those at home. Then onions, and then we have some peppers. Look at these peppers. We have jalapeno peppers, and we also have the tricolor peppers, the red, the yellow, and the orange that you find in bags at the grocery store. I get the ones from the grocery store and I take the seeds out of them, I dry them, and I raise them myself the next year. So I grew those from seeds. I'm at Katie's house. Before I came, I prepared a lot of the food. I'm at my sister-in-law's house. This is Donna's eggplant, and she was kind enough to give me some of her eggplants. And so here are a couple of them. I'm gonna show you a little trick. If you buy an eggplant, these were given to me off the vine, if they've got the slit in them, like that, that means they have more seeds most of the time than the ones that are just a dot. And so if you're buying some and you don't want a lot of seeds, get the ones that have a dot here and not the ones with the slit. I left the skin on them and I cut them in cubes, about 3/4 to 1 inch cubes. I put them in a bowl. I put 2 tablespoons of olive oil in them and about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mixed it all together. I put it on a pan. I've got a silicone sheet on it. You can use parchment paper. Don't put it straight on the pan. And then I roasted it at 450 degrees for 30 minutes. And probably about halfway through it, I took my spatula and kind of mixed it up. This is what I brought over, and it's 1 large eggplant, and it's been roasted. So this is roasted, ready for the stew. And I roasted some tomatoes too. These Juliet tomatoes do beautifully. What I did, I have the silicone lined sheet, and I cut these in half, lengthwise, placed them on the pan where the skin was up and the flesh was down, and I filled the tray all the way up, and I put some oil on it. I sprayed some olive oil and put some salt on it, and I put it in the oven, and I baked it for 30 minutes. In fact, I did at the same time I did the eggplant. Put the eggplant on the bottom rack and these on the top rack, and then afterwards they were cooked. All I had to do was squeeze on the skin and all the flesh came out. So I had a bowl of flesh and a bowl of the skins. I threw the skins, fed them to the chickens. You take the tomato, squeeze it like that, hold on to the skin. Another one, do the same thing. Then you have a whole container of oven roasted tomatoes to put in the stew. I came up with this much roasted tomatoes. They're not fire roasted, but they're roasted and they're going to be delicious. I use fresh tomatoes, but if you don't have fresh tomatoes, you still can make it. You can get 2 cans of Petite diced tomatoes, but get fire roasted if you can. It gives it that wonderful smoky flavor. Again, fire roasted tomatoes, 2 cans. It's time to start cooking. First, I'll be putting 2 tablespoons of olive oil in this pan. I put the burner on medium-high heat. I'm going to add the onions. And I'll cook them until they turn translucent. And I'm going to put in here the peppers. Let's look at these peppers. These are the sweet peppers, which are the yellow and orange. And then I've got some jalapeno peppers that I took the ribbing out. I took the seeds out, so it's got the flavor. It just doesn't have the heat. You have a choice. You can put some smoky paprika, but I didn't have any smoky paprika, so that would be a tablespoon of smoky paprika. But I did have some chipotle, which is a little bit hotter, so I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of chipotle. It's got the smoky flavor, and it's jalapeno peppers that have been roasted, ground up, and it's very good. And I'm also going to add a tablespoon of ground cumin. I'm adding the cumin and the chipotle. I'm going to coat it real well. It smells so good. It's got the smoky smell to it. And look at that. Wow. It's been about a minute since I've added the 2 spices, and now I'm going to add some vegetable stock. This is a 1/2 cup of vegetable stock. And then I'm going to add all the tomatoes. You can add 2 cans if you've got the cans, or I've got a quart. What I did, I made a quart of this. But look at that. It smells so good, and I'm going to pour this in here. I'm going to heat this for 4 or 5 minutes. I have it all in here. The tomatoes, the onions, the vegetable stock. And I'm going to let it simmer for about 4 or 5 minutes. Let's look at it. Look at that. So now it's time to add some more ingredients. I'm going to add a tablespoon of chili garlic sauce. If you've got sriracha sauce, you can use that too, but that just gives a little bit of heat. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of honey. And mix this together. And I'm going to put into it 2 bay leaves. Bend the bay leaves, and I'm going to put them in. So I got 2 bay leaves, and we'll be taking that out when it's over. And then finally, in this step, we'll be putting in the garbanzo beans, or the chickpeas. And this is 1 can. Now these are fresh. I cooked these fresh. 1 can of garbanzo beans, drained and rinsed off. So now I'm going to cook this for 4 or 5 minutes before we add the eggplant. The ingredients have been simmering for a few minutes. Let's look at them. There they are. Oh look, it looks so good. The stew's going to be excellent. The vegetables have been simmering for 4 or 5 minutes now, and I'm going to add the final ingredients. I have a teaspoon of pepper, so I'll add that. A 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and finally the star here. This is the eggplant. I'm going to add some garlic. There we go. Now I'm going to cook this, let it simmer for 10 more minutes. Then it'll be time to eat it. We will taste it to see what the flavors are and see if we need to add anything else to it. If you like a smoky flavor, you may want to add some liquid smoke.
I'm gonna try some of this so we can make sure that the spices are just right. So look at this spoonful that I got right here. You see a little bit of eggplant and some chickpeas and stuff. Let me try it. That is just right. It doesn't hit you right at the beginning, but then the spices just give it a kick at the very end, which is gonna be a great blend with the rice. But if you want to take down the heat, Dad will explain a little bit how you can do that.
It's on a bed of brown rice with some sweet chili sauce around it, and we have some cilantro on top. It's going to be delicious.
All right, guys, it is time to go ahead and try this delicious food. So we're gonna let you know how it tastes. You wanna go first or?
You start.
Okay, let me see. So I've got my brown rice here and my veggies. That is delicious. I don't know exactly the best way to describe it, but you can definitely tell the spices in it. It's not too hot. It's very comforting. It makes you just want to sit on a rainy day, which is actually rainy outside right now. It's perfect for this. But it's great for a rainy day, a cold day, but it's light enough that if you wanted to have it during the summer or all year round, you could have it and it wouldn't be too overwhelming. So you can try it.
Let me taste it. Let me taste it.
Let me know what you think.
I'm gonna get these tomatoes I roasted and get a chickpea.
Isn't that so fresh?
It's delicious. It's got a little bite to it.
Yes.
But you like heat.
Oh, I love it.
I like heat.
Yeah.
So if you're making it and you don't like heat, you may want to cut back maybe a teaspoon of the chili sauce. But it's perfect for me. But it does have a little bit of heat to it.
It does have it, but, and I don't know if you agree with me, but I feel like the rice kind of helps cut it a little bit versus if you had it by itself. But yeah, if you want to cut down and listen to what he said, and it's delicious.
Wow, the roasted tomatoes, the eggplant. I just got a bite of the eggplant.
Oh,
it's all very good. Everything works together.
It does. That's wonderful. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We're gonna enjoy chewing this, eating this. We're gonna actually enjoy the rest of our dinner together since Dad came over. But we are so glad that you decided to join with us today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up. Comment below if you get to try it. We'd love to hear from you or anything you have to say at all. And if you haven't subscribed, please be sure to do so and make sure to click the notification bell so that you're notified every time we put up a new video, which is weekly. And if you subscribe and fill out the link in the description box below, you will actually receive a free copy of our e-cookbook of our first year of recipes, which was just this past year. So it's definitely something you want to have so you can cook from. But we will see you guys next week. See ya.